I will not be a slave to loyalty. Seth Rollins can literally look the fans, the universe in their face and say, I have been a slave to loyalty for far too long to y'all. What is going on, everybody? It is I, the franchise here. This is Wrestle Talk with the franchise, a spinoff. As you guys probably have been paying attention to the thumbnail or the titles of Royal Club's episodes with me, I've titled them Wrestle Talk with the franchise. So I've just decided that, you know what, when it's solo episodes with me, that's kind of the direction that I'm going to go. And then when me and the Ace do come together to do Royal Club, it's just going to be known as the Royal Club Wrestling Podcast. But he's Podcast Tribal Chief, the franchise. I said last week there's a lot to get into. Didn't want to take much time. Ended up giving y'all an hour and some change, roughly an hour and a half of content. Hopefully today it is not going to be the same, because I literally looking at my list, my stuff that I want to talk about. It's really 3 topics. Hopefully they're not as long as, last week's was. But as I've always said, don't want to waste anybody's time. Well, let's jump right into it. First things first, this past Saturday, NXT had the official last premium live event of the year. The main roster, which I refer to like the Raw, SmackDown, all that, they had their official last one with Survivor Series War Games. But the official premium live event was this past Saturday, NXT Deadline. I did not catch it. I had other prior engagements I had to take care of, so I did not get a chance to watch it live. I know the Ace did watch it, and from what I gathered from just little highlights that I seen on Twitter, X, seemed like it was a solid show. I heard a lot of praise, a lot of big praise for the Women's Iron Survivor match. So glad to see that. Seen one of my favorites, Cora Jade. She came back. Very excited to see her and where she is, what direction she's going to go. Obviously, she has her eyes set on the NXT Women's Championship. Shout out to the man who won the men's Iron Survivor, Trick Williams, who just continues to elevate. He continues to grow. Obviously, his popularity is he's one of the biggest rising stars in NXT. I'm still under the impression and still under the high belief that Carmelo was the one who orchestrated the attack on said Trick Williams. I think that we're going to see that kind of play out in next year in 2024. I could see possibly Trick Williams winning the NXT title, Melo becoming extremely jealous, and it being revealed that Melo was the one that attacked him, and then we kind of get a story with them. Because do I think Melo's ready for the main roster? I think he is, but I just don't see that happening right now, because who exactly in NXT will be the one to replace a Carmelo if he is called up to the main roster? Yeah, you're going to have Trick Williams, but, Braun Breaker's still in NXT, which has a lot of people really confused, a lot of head scratching, like why is he still there? But we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, I heard that it was a solid premium live event. I will watch it tonight. You may see on the Instagram, RCW_podcast. You probably will get my take on it there. But a certain leader of the Voiceless was in attendance at NXT Deadline, which was one CM Punk. On Friday, he did return to SmackDown for the first time since in 9-10 years now, but he did make reference to he had a phone call with Shawn Michaels that he was taking over the weekend, and then surprisingly enough, he said he missed a flight and he was in, I believe it was Bridgeport, Connecticut, where they were having the NXT Deadline, and tweeted or put it on Instagram like, hey, I'm in Bridgeport. What is there to do today? I forgot my flight. What is there to do? In which we all knew he was going to be at Deadline, showed up there, kind of made his rounds around backstage. You know, there is an interview, a digital exclusive interview that Cora Jade did, and CM Punk showed up and gave her flowers and, you know, kind of said, you know, gave her his respect. There's a photo that Cora had posted I think when CM Punk did come back, and there's an old picture of her with CM Punk, and then it's kind of like, oh, look at the time, look how far, like, look, we had this picture, now we have this picture. But it was good to see that CM Punk's there. He did speak to Shawn Michaels in the beginning of the show. But that's not what everybody's talking about. That is not what everybody's talking about when it comes to CM Punk. Everybody is talking about him putting, what I will call him putting the WWE Universe on notice. This past Friday on SmackDown, CM Punk, as I said, came out, tribute to the troops, which a lot of people think that is kind of like a holiday show, but this one has some depth into it. This one did tell or continue to tell stories that we will see moving forward. And CM Punk happened to be one of the people that told his story. So what he did was he came out and he did take notice that a lot of people had stuff to say about his promo from Monday. Now, we all know his first appearance on Raw in 9.5, 10 years was very lackluster. And we all know it was because Bruce Pritchard was there. Triple H wasn't there at the time. It was very much like, hey, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I'm home. All this stuff. And CM Punk heard the chatters. He heard he read the tweets. He's seen the videos. And he addressed it. He pretty much said, like, y'all want CM Punk, the old CM Punk, the CM Punk that, you know, was notorious for speaking his mind. Well, here we go. And he, you know, said, you know, a friend of mine has a saying that he loves to say. And that's, what do you guys want to talk about? CM Punk flipped it up. He said, who do you guys want me to talk about? And CM Punk then went on and talked about everything. I mean, he acknowledged the tribal chief, our tribal chief.
Do you want me to talk about Cody Rhodes? I could tell you some stories. Or do you want me to talk about somebody who's not here? By the sounds of it, somebody who's never here. Roman Reigns. Tribal Chief, I acknowledge you. Congratulations on all your success. Don't forget who the OG Paul Heyman guy is. Don't forget that he was my wise man first.
He took a slight jab, no pun intended, took a slight jab at Jungle Boy when talking about Kevin Owens.
Someone said Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, that'd be interesting, right? Can I tag with Kevin Owens? Maybe I can fight Kevin Owens. Let's pump the brakes on that one just for a second. Kevin's a little bit prickly, and I mean to say is that him and I are probably too much alike. And I don't know who would feel comfortable working with somebody who randomly just punches people in the face backstage. I mean, it's 2023, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't be doing stuff like that. That's insane.
He discussed Cody and Cody wanting to finish his story.
Everybody wanting to talk about finishing their story. I'm back to finish what I started. And Monday night, I put pen to paper and begin my journey of finishing my story. And that means one thing. Main eventing WrestleMania.
John CM Punk has put everybody on notice. That's a mic drop moment you're going to be talking about for the next decade.
So before I get to the last one, because the last one is the best one, let's talk about what he was discussing with Roman Reigns, Jungle Boy, and Cody Rhodes. So first off, let's start with the man, the myth, the legend, our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. First things first, found it. I'm one of those people that is like I'm the one that will point it out. We all know what he means by it. But let's be honest. The Paul Heyman guy, Brock Lesnar. He's the OG Heyman guy. Let's be honest. He's the OG in the WWE Universe. Brock Lesnar was the first Heyman guy. If we talk about Heyman's legacy, I mean, that Roman can say, my father was the original Heyman guy because he was part of the Wild Samoans. But y'all heard me last week. I alluded to it. I said that I did not want to see this rival. Not right now. You know, because we've seen it before. We've seen this angle before with Paul Heyman being in the middle between two Heyman guys. Roman, Brock. We've seen it with Brock and Brock and CM Punk. We've seen this story. Now, the only way it will get very interesting is if indeed Paul Heyman turns on Roman for CM Punk. Do I see that happening? They've always said that sometime in the foreseeable future, Roman Reigns is going to go back to being a face. And he will go back to being like, he's going to be a super baby face. I don't want to see that. But if you did it, it would be a good angle for it to be through Paul turning on him to go back to CM Punk. But I don't want to see that for WrestleMania. I just don't. I don't. Does Paul turn on him for the Cody storyline? I don't know, because then you could do it like he turned on him and then he eventually left and went with Punk. I don't know if like I said, I don't know how you can tell that story of Heyman turning on Roman, because there's history, like there's legit history. Roman Reigns' father, as I said, was a Wild Samoan who was managed by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman knew Roman since he was since birth. Okay? So there's more layered history, with them too. I just don't want to see Roman Punk right now. Now, what does this mean though? Because he told him, don't forget who the OG Paul Heyman guy is. Now, Roman Reigns is scheduled to appear this upcoming Friday, December 15th. Roman Reigns will return to SmackDown. Is Roman Reigns going to address CM Punk? What is Paul Heyman going to say about CM Punk? I thought with CM Punk being there on SmackDown, we would get a Paul Heyman CM Punk kind of run-in. Now, you did see CM Punk backstage, and he walked past the Bloodline locker room and was going to enter, but stopped himself and said, no. So, we may see CM Punk and Paul Heyman run across each other at Royal Rumble, which I think will be the perfect time to do it. Because if you have CM Punk interact with Paul Heyman now, it doesn't, But if you have it where CM Punk, who this Monday is going to announce where he's signing, he will announce that on Monday. And I'm under the impression I want to see him go to Raw. So if he goes to Raw, now you're definitely not going to see Heyman and Punk cross paths until Royal Rumble, which then builds that anticipation, because now if CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, now he has the option to pick which champion he wants to go for. So he could tease and he could say, if I win, Paul, you're going to see me. You'll see me. Or he'll be like, talk to you soon, Paul. Something that will leave Paul kind of like nervous, worried. Because yes, when he was dealing with Brock was a beast. Brock was something that was something we never seen before. But CM Punk has a title of being the best in the world. Could that happen? Could we see Punk versus Roman at WrestleMania? You already know where I stand, my position. A lot of people have come to me and said that they would love to see Punk versus Punk versus Roman at WrestleMania. Some people even said have it be a triple threat. We haven't seen a triple threat in a very long time. I don't want to see that. I don't, because 9 out of 10, the champ isn't going to get the fall. You always got to look at who the weakest one out of those triple threats or fatal four ways is. And that's the one who's going to take the pinfall. Unless you're Roman Reigns and you stack Daniel Bryan and Edge on top of each other and get the pinfall that way. Therefore, both of them did that. Let's talk about what he said about Jungle Boy, even though he didn't say Jungle Boy's name, Jack Perry. When he was talking about Kevin Owens, you heard him. He said, now me and Kevin Owens is a little prickly, and he likes to punch people backstage. And I don't know, but in this day and age, in this time, we're not so supposed to run around punching people backstage for no reason. We know there was an NDA that was signed between the two of them, between Tony Khan and CM Punk. That does not mean that CM Punk cannot talk about certain people in the company. That we all can see. But it was a nice little, it was a nice jab, a nice callback, whatever you want to refer to it as, for him to say what he said about Jungle Boy. Cody Rhodes. A lot of fans, diehard Cody Rhodes fans. I'm a Cody fan. Not a diehard Cody fan, but I'm a Cody fan. Do I want to see Cody finish the story? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Cody Rhodes finishing the story will be the most emotional thing we've seen in wrestling probably since I'll go Kofi Mania. I know for sure it's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger for the wrestling community if Cody finishes the story. For, the black community, the African American community, Kofi Kingston's story was it was the highlight. Like everybody, we all remember Kofi Mania, and we all remember how the audience reacted. Like I told y'all guys, I cried when Kofi won the title because it was like, wow, like this really happened. But CM Punk said that he was going to finish what he started, and he's going to main event WrestleMania. He's winning the Royal Rumble and going to main event WrestleMania. And then we seen the interaction between Cody and CM Punk backstage was not much. It was just welcome back, shake of the hand, heard what you said, our paths will cross type of thing. I have my assumptions. I have my beliefs. I believe Punk will win the Royal Rumble to create another obstacle for Cody to overcome, another hard time for Cody to overcome. Cody's going to win the Elimination Chamber. Cody will go on to Cody will have to then leave Raw to go to SmackDown. He will have to. Unless someone from SmackDown gets hurt or there's an open vacancy and anybody from Raw or SmackDown can go, Cody goes, Cody wins. Which now let's get into the last one. The like I said, last was certainly not least. I saved the best for last, which is what CM Punk had to say about Seth freaking Rollins.
Everybody's happy to see CM Punk, even JBL. Everybody's welcomed me back with open arms. Except for that one guy. There's always that one bad apple that spoils the bunch, am I right? But I'm not going to put any stock and anything he has to say, and it's not because of his whiny voice. It's because he's not even the man in his own household. It's about all he's got is that song, Keep It Up.
There's a lot. There's a lot to get into with that clip, with what he's had to say. So let's jump fully into this. Let's dive. This is where most of this conversation, this is where most of this episode is going to be based in, is Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I'm one of those people. I have been one of those people that have been religiously saying Seth Rollins needs to turn heel. This is the opportunity for Seth to turn heel, or at least show a little more edge, show a little more attitude, because let's look at what we're talking about. I said it last week. Seth Rollins can take this and say, this man turned his back on us, turned his back on the universe, basically said, fuck you guys, I'm gone. And for 10 years, he did nothing but bash, talk shit, drag our name, drag this company's name in the mud, in the dirt. And y'all embrace him with open arms and act like nothing ever happened. I can see a point where Seth Rollins is in the ring, and we've seen it. We've seen it when he came back Monday. We've seen it the Monday after Survivor Series. He said, go ahead, chant his name, do it. And the crowd was chanting CM Punk. I can see a place, a time, a world where he's cutting another promo. I believe they were chanting CM Punk during his match with Jey Uso. It can get to a point where CM Punk is inside the head of Seth, and now Seth has no other choice but to snap. So if Seth Rollins snaps and attack CM Punk, and then, you got Adam Pearce like, Seth, calm down. And he's like, no, because why did y'all bring him back? Why did y'all bring him back? And he gets into it. And he's like, y'all turned y'all back on me. If they used this line, I doubt that they would use it. If I was a writer and I was in charge of creating this storyline between Seth Rollins and CM Punk, one of the lines that I will say, Shannon Sharp said it best: I will not be a slave to loyalty. Seth Rollins can literally look the fans, the universe, in their face and say, I have been a slave to loyalty for far too long to y'all. Y'all have officially turned y'all back on me when I have done nothing but be the workhorse and damn near broke my back carrying this organization, carrying this company on my back. Damn near broke my back carrying this company. And this is the thanks I get. I get the thanks by hearing y'all chant this man's name, who has done nothing but ridicule, talk shit, bash us to the ground. And this is what y'all do. Y'all are happy that he's back? No, we're not doing that. We're definitely not doing that. So I can see a scenario with that. Seth Rollins over the weekend, they had a live show. And Seth Rollins addressed CM Punk after CM Punk said what he had to say. And this is what he had to say. You can do a lot with this. Now, that live crowd, they were behind Seth Rollins. They were cheering for Seth Rollins. But if CM Punk was there, I'm pretty sure they will be chanting more for CM Punk. So Seth Rollins has this, he can have this conflict where, you know, what are y'all doing? You know, like he said, I'm here every week, every day, every night. I show up and I show out. One of his biggest issues that he had with Brock Lesnar, one of his biggest issues now he has with Roman Reigns, which is why I will say Seth Rollins, CM Punk, if he wins the Rumble, needs to choose Seth because Seth said, I'm the best in the world. CM Punk claims he's the best in the world. In order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And I feel like you get Seth Punk, who's the best in the world, who's the workhorse champion. Now, I know last episode I said that I was not going to address dirt sheets anymore. This isn't technically a dirt sheet. This is actually a podcast. Dirt Sheets spoke about the podcast, but I don't really consider the podcast to be dirt sheet worthy. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Seth Rollins was on SI Media podcast this past week. And the first 15 minutes of the podcast, he addressed CM Punk. And This is a summary of what he had to say about one CM Punk.
I have too much respect for you to butter you up, so I'm going to go right. We'll get it right out of the way, right off the top. First things first. When did you find out he was going to be back in the WWE?
When I heard his music on what is Saturday 2 weeks ago, whatever it was at Survivor Series. When I heard his music.
In character, out of character, either way. Does it annoy you you're not given a heads up?
Yes. Upon reflection, it's easy to understand why something like that would be kept as close to the vest as possible. So I understand why, very few people knew what was going on that day. But in the moment, I was extremely emotional. We'll just put it that way. In the moment, after everything we'd been through and everything the company had been through with that particular person as well. And then the night itself, the match, Randy's return, all of it. It was a very emotional moment for me. Obviously, if you have any amount of social media, you kind of saw how I reacted in the moment, and it was a very raw, real, emotional response for me. Did I go too far? Maybe, but it was what it was. I can't take it back.
Was your reaction a work or a shoot?
Like I said, it was an extremely emotional moment for me. Everyone knows how I feel about CM Punk. I've not made it any more transparent over the past few years. Nothing has changed in that regard. And in that moment, I was extremely emotional, and you got a lot of a real raw emotion from me. And I don't usually get that worked up about much, but you caught me off guard, and there was a lot of real emotion there. So that's probably about as much as I can say on that without going too far.
Were you completely shocked, or it was more like, okay, this is the reality now. I can't believe they're letting this guy back in?
Yeah, the latter. I think, in this industry, I've been with WWE for over 10 years now. So like kind of nothing surprises me anymore, fully. And so I heard rumblings. Obviously, it was something they wanted to keep pretty close to the vest for obvious reasons. And look, surprises are great in our industry and in this age of social media where everything is spoiled. It's nice to have surprises. That wasn't a very nice surprise for me, but it was for a lot of people out there who were fans of that guy for whatever reason. And so, yeah, it was mostly just like oh man, this is it. This is what we have to deal with now. This is our future moving forward. How do we navigate this? So it was kind of just an emotional reaction to that, compounded with the adrenaline of what we just experienced inside the double cage and War Games. I mean, a lot of it's personal. A lot of it's stuff that I don't really want to get into. I just think he's been really selfish when it comes to his perspective on the industry. I think he's been extremely self-serving, has played the martyr role to a T, and has, for someone who, when I met the guy, and look, I got a lot of good things to say about parts of my relationship with him. He helped me in places when he didn't have to, whether that was for his own good or not, I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, it helped me get where I needed to go and do the things I needed to do. And for a guy who, when I met him, kind of made it seem like he was all about giving back to the business, he really turned into a pretty selfish guy, and really wanted to take more from the industry. And look, he said some really bad things about me, talked down about me for years and the company for years. And said I'm talking some really bad stuff, called me like a bootlicker and crap like that, treated the place that I worked for, treated friends that I worked with. Don't need to get into any of the stuff with Colt Cabana. If you want to go and look at, that kind of stuff, that's out there. If it is Seth Rollins versus CM Punk somewhere down the road, one way or another, it's going to be magic.
Is it a work or is it a shoot? Last week, I told you guys that I felt like this was a work. I said there's no way that Triple H is not going to let his top guys know about the CM Punk return. According to Seth Rollins, he didn't know about it until the music played. His reaction was very real. And now do we believe it? You know, we have to take his word, right? This is all real. Now, we knew about the comments that Punk has made in the past, you know, but we also got to take into account the man that Seth Rollins says something. He said Punk treated a lot of my friends like crap. He can include this in the storyline. Only thing I will not do is do not name Colt Cabana in this situation. Because I feel like CM Punk would do almost anything, work with anybody, but if you mention Colt Cabana, that's where it gets tricky. And I don't think you want to go down that road bringing up Colt Cabana with CM Punk. I wouldn't. But he did say it was real. His emotions was real. But he did allude and say, when and if Seth Rollins and CM Punk get in the ring, it's going to be magical. And I agree. One thing that Seth Rollins is good at doing is Seth is good at putting his personal differences aside for the better cause. We know him and Riddle had some exchange of words. I know he said Riddle had said something about Becky, which did not sit well with Seth Rollins. Him and Cody, but I really don't know the angle with Cody, but we've seen it work. You know, we've heard stories of superstars that were not getting along, but managed to get in the ring and make it work for the greater good of telling the story. I feel like CM Punk and Seth Rollins could do just that. But I really want to see Seth turn heel. I want to see Seth just go AWOL and just attack and blame the fans for this. And it becomes the reason why Seth Rollins loses the title. Because Seth Rollins let CM Punk get the best of him. And Seth Rollins drops the title to CM Punk at Mania. So that's that. You know, I really, like I said, the CM Punk Seth Rollins storyline could go down as one of the best storylines in 2024. Just because of the realness, just because of how Seth Rollins approaches this matter. Now, if this is a work and he's doing like a work shoot type of thing, that's even better. I love the work shoot angles more than anything else because you do have a little spice, a little sprinkle of reality, of realness embodied into this situation. But like I said, if I had to do it, I would make Seth turn heel, Seth go against the fans because the fans cheered for this man who dragged. I've been loyal to this company. I said it before. I think Seth Rollins is going to be one of those people that is not going to leave and go anywhere else. I truly think Seth Rollins is going to be that WWE person. You know, I mean, Randy is a lifer. Randy even said it in the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul. He's not going anywhere. He's not leaving WWE. But he's got his start there. Seth was in the Indies for some time, but I think that he will not leave WWE to go anywhere else. And I think like he said, he's loyal, and he stands on that sword. And I feel like this is going to be the angle that's going to catapult him to like really be like, yo, look. And if you did do the whole, well, Punk is the heel in this story, cool. But I feel like it will be better if Seth was, because it's that y'all really started cheering for this man. And this man ain't. Look at what he's done in the past. That's how I look at it. Look at what he's done in the past, and y'all are embracing and acting like nothing ever happened. How could y'all do that? How could y'all accept this man and what he's done? Like, just how could you? And how could y'all turn y'all back on me after everything I've done? Like, I've literally almost damn near broke my back for you guys. And this is what y'all do. Before I wrap up, prayers goes out to Charlotte Flair. I do not know if that was a work or a shoot. We were just talking about that, but she took a nasty fall on SmackDown. They did show this video circulating of her, and she says, "My knee, oh shit, my knee." I really hope that it is a part of the story. I really hope that it's not a severe injury that will sit her out for some time. Just because, say what you want to say about Charlotte. In my rankings, she is third on my horsewoman. Like, if I rank the horsewoman, I'm going to go Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky in that order. But I just, Charlotte is, in all seriousness, you take away, my bias of having Sasha number one. Charlotte is head and shoulders gifted, athletic, in-ring, work-wise. She's up there. So I hope this injury is not as severe as it looked. And I hope that she's able to bounce back. Hope that it wasn't nothing serious. I have not seen anything. We'll have to wait and see what happens on SmackDown about it. So that's that. Now, if you follow the RCW Instagram page, Royal Club's Instagram page, you did see Saturday, I talked about what I was going to discuss on this show. And I want to end it by talking about the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. I'm a big fan of them. I see nothing but star power in Montez. If you are a loyal listener to Royal Club, you've heard me and the Ace talk about Montez and how we just think that he is fucking a mega star in the making. But we all know they've aligned Street Profits with Bobby Lashley, and Bobby kind of put a certain edge to the Street Profits and made them more edgy. They had a quick story with the LWO and attacking Rey Mysterio. And we all know, you attack Rey Mysterio, you can attack anybody. But if you attack Rey Mysterio, you're going to get heat regardless of who you are, because Rey is a fan friendly. He is the ultimate babyface. Like him, Cena are like the only ones I can think of. Because we've seen Sammy as a heel. We've seen Kevin Owens as a heel. Cody, maybe Cody. Cody might be third. Cody might be third as the ultimate babyface. But when you attack Rey Mysterio, you are nuclear. You are getting nothing but nuclear heat. And it's weird because the Street Profits attacked Rey, LWO. They had a tag team title match against the Judgment Day, and they were getting cheered. Or per se. But now it feels like the Street Profits are stale. And that's the one thing you do not want. You don't want to be stale. And that's that's very tough. I personally would want to see the Street Profits. I want to see the Street Profits break up. I've been on the record on saying that. I just see Montez as being a star. Like he has it all. But then during Tribute of the Troops, if you've seen what happened backstage, the digital exclusive, you've seen Kathy Kelly talking to the Army people who was doing the drill instructions or the drill performance. And Bobby Lashley showed up. And Bobby Lashley shook their hands. We all know Bobby Lashley was a former Army guy. And Montez served in the military as well. I believe he served in the Air Force. But you see Bobby, and Bobby's talking to them. Very, hey, man, salute, love what you guys do. As an Army vet, as an Army person, I understand. I respect you guys. I commend you guys. Y'all have my saluted them and everything. Dawkins showed up. Dawkins was with Lashley, but then you show Montez. And Montez is like, as you know, as a former military person, I commend you guys. I respect you guys, And then there was another thing backstage. It was on Montez, I believe, social, where he has the rifle and he's doing, because he was part of the drill instruction or the drill team for the arm or for the Air Force as well, and he showed his skills. I think you're going to see a change in the characters of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. They're going to be more face. But I still want to see a turn. And don't be surprised at who will be the one to plant the seed for one of the Street Profits to turn on the other. And that's going to be B-Fab. I believe B-Fab has a very significant role in this story with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I will not be surprised if B-Fab gets into the ear of Dawkins. You don't want her to get in the ear of Montez, because we all know Montez is married to Bianca Belair. And unless you do something where Bianca is now going to get inserted in this storyline, and now Bianca and B-Fab is going to have a little tit for tat, even though we all know I'm a fan of BFAB. But I think if you could put BFAB and Bianca Belair in the ring, I don't think BFAB has a chance. I don't think so. But BFAB is the key. She's going to be crucial to this storyline. So pay attention to that. Definitely pay attention to that. And thank you guys. So I'm wrapping this up. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Wrestle Talk with the Franchise, a spinoff of the Royal Club Wrestling Podcast. Make sure that you like this video. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about what I said. What do y'all think about the whole Seth Rollins interview? If you did not check out the interview with SI Media, let me know what y'all think about the CM Punk promo. There is right now. Make sure you go check it out. My reaction to the CM Punk SmackDown promo from this past Friday. I give my reaction to it. I did say that I was going to start doing a little bit more reactions to certain promos and things like that. That is one of them. Let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know what y'all think about NXT Deadline. Let me know. I will put up on, like I said, on the social, on the Instagram page, my match moment, things like that for that show sometime later on this week. And let me know what y'all think about the Street Profits. You know, how do y'all like this new attitude with the Street Profits? I do like their new music though. I was listening to it yesterday. And I'm a fan of it. I am definitely a fan of the new Street Profits theme music. So let me know what y'all think about that. And also, just to let it be known, Yeet is back. It is official. I did not really want to talk about it that much because I didn't really know all the ramifications for it. But there was a wrestler in, I believe, Virginia that had copyright Yeet. And WWE found, I guess the guy tried to get something out of it, but it's official. It is back. Jey Uso was at the live event and he had the Yeet shirt on and he was yelling it out, so it's back. He is allowed to say it. I do know that they were pulling the Yeet shirt, but not anymore. So I will be getting a Yeet shirt. But guys, thank you all for watching. For all the new people that are subscribed to this channel, thank you for subscribing. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you like this video and like all the other videos that have been aired on this here channel. For all the audio people only, make sure if you are new to this, make sure you hit that subscribe to this wrestling journey with the franchise. Make sure that you do rate us as well. I am one half of the Royal Club Wrestling Podcast, the podcast tribal chief, the franchise himself. I am out till next week. I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible, guys. Later.